everybody, Backyard Bullion here, coming to you today with another Ponderous Wednesday, where I take a thought-provoking and interesting topic, have a good old ramble about it here on YouTube to get some interesting discussion flowing down in the comment section. Now, this week's topic is all about Brexit, but not the merits of Brexit, whether or not it was a good idea. That's a debate which has been done to death. Instead, I want to talk today about the impact that Brexit is having and will continue to have in the build-up to that leave date, and then the effects that it's going to have, potentially have, because we don't know whether we're going to have a deal or a no-deal style scenario just yet, but the effects that it's going to have on me, myself as an investor, us as stackers and community members here in the UK, about whether or not we can even tangibly invest in silver anymore, and also as it relates to Backyard Bullion hand-pulled silver and the impact and effect that that Brexit decision, Brexit build-up is going to have on my business. It's a very interesting topic, and I know there's a lot of emotions out there about Brexit, about the types of deals that people want. This whole purpose of this video is to get some interesting discussion going. So if you would like to comment, I'd encourage it very much so. Even if you disagree with things I'm saying, please do comment. I'd love to know your opinions, but please do so respectfully. At the end of the day, we're all here to have a bit of fun and not just shout at each other. Also, the things that I'm talking about today are just my own views and opinions. They are not financial advice, and any financial decisions you take having watched this video are yours and yours alone. Now, for those of you who don't know, perhaps you're living outside of the UK or Europe, Brexit is the word that we've come to adopt for the UK leaving the European Union. Now, that's important for a number of different reasons. Firstly, in the European Union and UK, we pay a lot more for our silver than we would if we were in another country like the United States, for example. We do not get the luxury of having spot plus 2 or 3% for our silver. In the UK, we have to pay sales tax of 20%, but in the EU, there are VAT reduction and margin schemes, which mean that we can essentially buy our silver for around about 15 to 20% over spot, depending on the item. And of course, more expensive coins become a little bit more than that as well. So Brexit poses a very big kind of barrier to the world of silver investing here in the UK, because at the moment we are very much looking like a no-deal scenario is going to happen. And that's important because if that happens, the UK will fall back on just general world trading standards, world trading operations, whereby if anybody, business, individual, buys something from outside of the UK and brings it into the UK, they are liable for import duty, taxes and tariffs as it would be if it was bought in the UK, which means if we wanted to buy silver from Europe and pay less than we would if we bought it in the UK, like we currently are doing, it would cost us more. So silver is pretty much on a ticking time bomb or a ticking clock, where it's dying a slow death for us here in the UK. And you've seen that title of this video. I really do think that if we don't get a favourable Brexit agreement with a free trade agreement, silver will die a death. People will not take silver seriously in the UK as an investment, as a commodity to hold physically. It will then turn into a paper style investment, which for a lot of people in this community and the Silver Forum community, and myself included, will just not want, because the whole point of investing in silver is it's a financial kind of piece of financial insurance. It's that physical wealth that we are holding that we're going to protect ourselves with in the event of some unfavourable situations relating to financial crises. So that's a big deal, and that's going to have an effect on, I don't know if it's going to have an effect globally on silver prices. It's certainly going to have an effect on the silver market in the UK. I think that there will be a lot of people who will steer clear of silver, jump into gold a lot more. A lot of the serious investors will anyway. The sort of Joe Blog individual who buys silver off eBay will continue to do so, and will probably see perhaps even a little bit of an equilibrium of prices, because there'll be fewer coins just generally going out there for the market. There'll be fewer coins for flippers to take advantage of. For example, these Krugerrands are a prime candidate for buying in bulk from Europe at a cheap price and then selling on eBay at an inflated price, because people in the UK buying on eBay are used to paying higher prices for individual coins. So that whole market will disappear, and I think that that's got a ticking time bomb, ticking lifespan here in the UK, which is a real shame. So how are people and how am I preparing in the build-up for that? Well, I've definitely noticed and seen Silver Forum members having a huge kind of upswing in buying and purchasing power and purchasing decisions on silver in the run-up to Brexit. The last couple of group orders I've arranged have been thousands of ounces of silver in this community. And the one which is coming up in the very near future is going to, I have no doubt, top a couple of thousand ounces as well. So people are preparing for that. They're front loading their silver. And to a certain extent, I am doing that as well in my investment bullion. But there's also an element of trying to work out what's best for my business, for Backyard Bullion as a brand, as a business going forward. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that keeps me up at night, that gets me worried about the future of Brexit and the issues that are coming out for me as a small business owner. Now, as a small business owner, it's something I never really thought I'd be in a position of, having this kind of this business and deciding about things, forecasting, having decisions to be made about the future of the business. But, you know, even for me, just as a one-man band making silver pieces of art out of my kitchen, it proves to be a really, really stressful time. And I can only sympathise with other businesses who have employees, who do a lot of business with Europe, who maybe import a lot from Europe like I do. It's just, we don't know what's going to happen. I would much have preferred if a couple of months ago or even a year ago, the UK government would have gone, look, we're going to have a no-deal situation, this is the plan, and we're going to have a plan and we're going to put that plan into action. I'd have been much, much more comfortable preparing for the Brexit situations like that. But this up in the air, not knowing whether it's going to happen or not, is a huge deal, and it really does impact me as a business and going forward. Now, the worst case scenario is that I'm just going to have to continue on making silver pieces with more expensive silver, and that's just going to have to be either passed on to customers in increased margins or absorbed into my own margins already. And it's hard enough as it is to sell premium silver. So it's just one of those things which is just something to consider. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to kill Backyard Bullion at all. I found a huge and new passion for Backyard Bullion, for pouring silver. It's a wonderful thing, and I hope that it can go on for a long time. But Brexit is proving to be quite stressful in terms of the future of Backyard Bullion as a hand-poured silver business. And I'm sure there are lots of other businesses out there which are going through the same kind of crises of, existential crises of whether or not they can even go on as they currently are. And I know a lot of businesses are moving to different countries, and I'm not underestimating when I've genuinely considered a move to Estonia would be potentially in the cards in the future, and that's saying something. And any country that you're living in and have lived in for your entire life that puts you in a situation where you are looking at genuine options of emigrating to different countries is a really, really sad one, in my opinion. So, yeah, Brexit is, it's a mess. It is a mess, let's be honest. I've been watching and reading about Brexit and the never-ending confusion about it. It really frustrates me. I just wish we would know one way or the other whether or not we're going to have a no-deal Brexit, rather than having these lame duck politicians just run around and not do the job. I don't want to get too political in this video. At the end of the day, I guess they're just doing the best job that they can, but it really doesn't give me any inspiration. It doesn't give me any comfort either, and I genuinely lose sleep about these things and get stressed and worried about the future of everything. Now, there are, of course, a few upsides to Brexit. Let's finish on a happy note. So, yes, Brexit can potentially cause quite a lot of issues for purchasing silver here in the UK and also my business, but there are a few potential upsides to consider. The first thing is, and I don't know how much impact this is going to have globally on silver prices, but the Brexit issue might well have an impact on silver prices. Certainly the silver market here in the UK. Whether or not it'll affect spot prices, I don't know. But essentially, overnight, what's going to happen is that the cheapest silver that anybody can buy in the UK, from Europe, from globally, from around the world, will suddenly be the same as it buying from a UK dealer, which means that it will go up by 20-25% just overnight. Silver price market, whether that's spot price or whether that's just general resellability, will go up just 20% overnight because of sales tax. However, that's not necessarily going to be that easy to take advantage of. So whilst there are a lot of people who are front loading a lot of silver right now that maybe think that they'll get a very large boon and windfall post that Brexit date, do not expect that you can walk into a bullion dealer and sell your silver for a 20% markup in that build-up. It's just not going to happen, in my opinion. That's very wishful thinking. But for the most part, you will still be able to sell your silver through social media, YouTube and eBay, this forum, all of that, and you know, it will have an impact on prices, because all of a sudden the cheapest silver is going to be, you know, at today's prices it could be £16 an ounce rather than £13 an ounce. So all of a sudden prices will go up, and if people still want to buy silver, they don't have much other options. Now, the other advantages of Brexit is that we might well end up having some good trade agreements put in place with some other countries. So if, for example, the US puts together a free trade agreement with the UK, which would be absolutely amazing, then buying silver from the US becomes a thing. And the UK still having their VAT on their silver purchases just continues to shoot themselves in the foot in terms of that market. And it's, yeah, it's just a very interesting, thought-provoking discussion, and I'd love to know what your opinions are on this. If you are in a similar position to me, if you're a UK silver pourer or a heavy UK silver investor, what are your plans? I know for myself, I'm looking to get a little bit more into silver between now and that Brexit date in March. Whether or not I have to go full hog and you know, put a lot of money and investment into silver for the business, I don't know. Of course, you've got to do sensible budgeting and planning, and I really don't know what the impact that Brexit is going to have, or a no-deal Brexit is going to have, on base metal prices, because it might well make the prices go lower. Who knows? It might make the prices go up a lot more. So buying now might be a bad idea or a great idea. It's just very hard to know. So I'd love to know your opinions on it. I'd love to know your opinions on what's going to happen if you're in the UK, if you're buying silver. If you're buying silver, I'd love to know what your plans are and how that's going to affect you. I know a lot of Silver Forum members out there are going to be going very heavy into this next coming group order, and there will be an announcement on that group order coming out this coming weekend. So if you'd like to get a notification of that announcement, make sure you subscribe and hit the alarm bell. You'll get a notification when that video goes live. Otherwise, if you like this video, if you like this topic, if you like this discussion, then please hit a thumbs up on it and share it around on your social media. That would be very helpful for everything that I do here on my channel. Otherwise, that is all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.